What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table, you have another KeyForge Age of Ascension sealed Vault Tour game. This time, we are in the top 8. We have Dave on the left, Andrew on the right. If you want to check out their deck lists, they are below in the description on the YouTube video, so you can check out the links to the Master Vault there. It looks like Andrew's starting off with Shadows, going with an Umbra play. And on the other side, a Lava Ball from Brobnar, getting rid of Umbra. And then a Flex just playing it, and barehanded for the Amber. We've seen Dave in the previous round. If you want to check out those other videos, we have them up on the channel. Lots of KeyForge games with commentary there, so make sure you subscribe. Go check out those videos, and I have lots more to come from the Archon Vault Tour at Gen Con 2019. And on the other side, we have Chalet the Safeguard with a Protect the Weak. And we got Ronnie Wristclocks coming in, stealing Urchin. Also stealing. Dave's now up to 3 Amber. Andrew's at 0. Now at 4 with Throwing Stars, killing the Urchin. And Dave's deck, if you haven't already looked at it, it does have a Legacy Doc booked in and also a Legacy Fagin with 2 Urchins in it, which is interesting. He does have double Ronnie Wristclocks, which is also juicy. There's the Binding Irons, gaining 3 chains on Dave. And we see a Lash of Broken Dreams, which can be used to raise the key cost by 3 for a round as an action from that artifact. And there we see the Titan Librarian on the right flank, followed by a Brain Eater, now activating Titan Librarian's ability at the end of turn, since he is not on the flank. And then we see the Director of ZYX on the left side, and he has that start of turn ability where he can archive the top card of your deck. So Dave does have the suite of the Researcher, Director, and Project ZYX in his deck.
I'm going to go Sanctum. Hallowed Shield.
So we have Hollowed Shield from Andrew there. And a Board in the Redeemed on the right flank. And what is that he's throwing on him?
How he's going to kill your Titan Librarian and take one?
Armageddon Cloak, I believe? Yeah, it looks like Armageddon Cloak. He gains Hazardous 2 and Destroyed. You'll fully heal this creature and discard, basically destroy Armageddon Cloak. So Titan Librarian is now off the board, destroyed with Chalet the Safeguard.
No armor, exactly.
So we have a Shaman coming in, 2 damage to Board in the Redeemed. Then we have a Pound. And it gets rid of that Armageddon Cloak off Chalet the Safeguard since it has some splash there. And then we got Foozle coming in on the right flank. And we see Dave checking down his chains there with that premium game Genic Vault Tour prize wall swag, I guess you call it. I tried to get me one of those chain trackers, but I was too late. They ran out at Gen Con, and I missed it by about an hour. And we got a Spirit's Way, destroying all creatures 3 power or higher.
Hoping you wouldn't pop that Armageddon.
Board is clear. Obeyed the Grim coming in, capturing 3. Has that reap effect. After he reaps, he'll be able to discard one of those Amber on him. Bren the Fanatic coming into play, giving an Amber to Andrew. Andrew sitting at 3 Amber, it looks like. And we got Merkins playing the top card of Andrew's deck. And I believe that's a Nerve Blast, stealing 1 and 2 damage to Obey the Grim. Obviously armor blocking one of those. So a good back and forth here. No player forging a key yet. If you appreciate the KeyForge coverage on the channel, make sure you hit that like button. Helps other people find these videos on YouTube and lets me know you guys like to see this stuff.
What I originally proposed was I said I have 4 cards.
I believe it's Andrew's turn here. He's just taking some time here to decide.
I might accidentally expand a card too far. I might react as he reaches. Like you can sort of do this and see how I react.
That's perfectly fair. That's fair. And we have a die on hand?
I have one.
Cool.
There are 45 minutes in a round in sealed.
And then use,
So Andrew taking some time here to decide which route to go. He's going to look through his discard pile, looking through his hand, trying to decide which faction to choose.
we can reroll one.
Certain numbers. Reroll 5 and 6.
We can reroll 5 and 6. Is that acceptable?
Give me spread Sanctum. Howard.
And it sounds like he's going Sanctum. He used Hallowed Shield
Take 2.
to make Obeyed invulnerable there against Bren the Fanatic. Fight, destroy Bren the Fanatic. No, the steal happens, and he gets 2, I believe, off that steal. And then we have Merrick the Marked coming into play, and that's the guy who captures for each damage he prevents with his armor. So we got a Wild Wormhole, putting Dave in check with 6 Amber. Ronnie wrist clocks off the top of the deck. Nothing to steal, though. No one's home. And we got Project ZYX coming in on the left flank there.
I'm going to go Dis. Call the Weak.
So Call the Weak played here on a dis turn, getting an Amber off that. It will destroy the weakest creature on the other side. He gets to choose between Merkins and Ronnie Wristclocks, being the active player. Both have pretty great come into play effects, but he's going to get rid of Ronnie Wristclocks. No, he decides on Merkins instead. And then we have a Bloodshard Imp on the right, Tesmal on the left, Lash raising key cost by 3. So if a creature reaps right now, it will be sacrificed thanks to the Bloodshard Imp. Got Dave checking his archives there. Seeing if he wants to grab anything here at the start of his turn. So he's going Relentless. Nope. Sorry, is it Relentless Assault? I was trying to figure out. Yeah, it's Relentless Assault. Ready and fight with up to 3 different friendly creatures, one at a time. So he's going Brobnar here. And he smashes away Obey the Grim, gets all that Amber back. So he's going the route of, instead of destroying the disc creatures, making Lash kind of not as good, he's going to just get up to enough Amber so Lash doesn't stop him. So since he used Project ZYX to fight first here, Andrew's just pointing out that he has to trigger that fight effect off of him before fighting. Not sure. So he plays Coward's End, blows up the board. Not sure that was correct there. I don't know if he played a card out of his discard pile or out of his archives or not, but it might be a may choose. Let me see here. Project says you may play one of your archive cards. Oh, okay, so he doesn't have to do it. I see. So we got Tesmal coming back into play. Andrew using Lash there to raise the key cost by 3 to force Dave to pay more for his key. And Urkel coming into play, forcing a discard out of Andrew's hand. And Misery Exploit gets pitched instead of played for the 1 Amber. That's interesting. And Dave will forge 1 Amber remaining, paying 9 for his key. Andrew's struggling to get anything going here, just sitting at 1 Amber. Dave definitely putting the pressure on him here. And we see Whistling Darts coming out off of the Project ZYX Reap there. And deals 1 damage to each Tesmal and Yerk. And we got another Wild Wormhole. And what's he going to get from this one? Oh, ZYX Researcher. So he's going to archive the top card of his deck. And then we have a Cutthroat Research just for the Amber. And Dave checking down those chains there after he played that Coward's End. He got himself 3 more chains off that. And he's sitting at 5 Amber here. Back over to Andrew. Interestingly, Andrew has two too much to protect in his deck, which he probably just drew into. I saw him throw his hand down in kind of frustration after he drew there at the end of last turn, and it was most likely because he finally saw one of his too much to protect, which would have been nice when he used that last couple turns there to get Dave up to that 10 amber. And I'm sure that's what has helped him out get here to the top 8, was I'm sure hitting more than one, or at least one, too much to protect in a game. He does have the rare Heist Knight in his deck also, which is an alpha play. Steal 1 for each friendly thief creature. And let's see, creatures. He has Redlock in his deck, who's a thief. Bren the Fanatic, who's a thief. Umbra's a thief. And it looks like that's it. So he's got 3 thieves in the deck, so I'm sure that helps him with some Amber control. He's got a couple Nerve Blasts. He's got a Miasma too, which I'm sure maybe that's what he was looking to see. Maybe got them in the wrong order there. So we see Furtive Investors there, just gaining an Amber.
Discard Heist Knight.
Heist Knight gets discarded.
Play a Redlock.
But I don't know. Oh, Heist Knight, yeah, being alpha, he doesn't want to hold it. Makes sense. There's a too much to protect just for the Amber. Yeah, he did draw into it. Probably got super frustrated based on that. That's too bad. He's got 4 Amber now, though. Over to Dave. Let's see what he's got. He's going to go Logos again, do a Reap with Project ZYX, picking a card out of his discard pile. He's going to throw a Groggins in on the right flank. And a Jargoggle. He's going to play a card face down underneath it. If Jargoggle gets destroyed on Dave's turn, he'll get to play the card. If it's destroyed on Andrew's turn, the card under Jargoggle will go back to Dave's archives. And we see a Hex Beyond put into play there on the left flank. Dave saying check at 7. Over to Andrew to deal with that. Sounds like he's going Dis here. Trying to do a Lash play. I don't know. Maybe he's got his other too much to protect, but I would have probably held that too much to protect if I hadn't seen my other one yet. Since he knows he could play like a Dis turn, Lash Dave, and then maybe steal a bunch of Amber if he went too high. Or maybe that's Andrew's whole shtick, is play 1 too much to protect. Your opponent feels safe, goes really high, and then you slap him with the second one. Catch him off guard. It is sealed, remember. They don't get to look at each other's deck lists to start. So we have Strek coming into play on the right flank there. He has the ability reducing Dave's hand by 1 when he's in his draw step there, or reducing his card draw by 1. Then we have Anguish on the right. If he gets any damage on him, it'll raise the key cost of Dave's keys by 1 for every damage that 6 power creature Anguish gets on him. So we got Tesmol reaping here.
You can't choose Shadows next turn.
And Andrew's now blocked Dave from playing Shadows off Tesmol's effect. And the Project ZYX party is over. Yurk goes running into him there. And then Banish. Sending Jargoggle back to the archives, which will discard Treasure Map that was hiding under him there. Since Jargoggle was not destroyed, he does not trigger that destroyed effect. He was just archived. So well played by Andrew there. Up to 6 Amber in check for his first key. Dave looking to forge his second key. But was stopped by the Lash there last turn. So another Jargoggle. Andrew says gross after seeing that second Jargoggle hit play. And a third one. Oh, I see. He picked one up out of the archives. Yeah. So we've got 2 Jargoggles in play. That's gross. And then has a Dock booked in there on the right flank. So he's built up quite the Logos board here. What's he going to do with the Researcher and Hexbion? I'm sure he wants to get rid of Tesmol. No, he's going to get rid of Strek by fighting into him twice to burn Elusive. Hexbion archiving himself and the top card, last card actually, of Dave's deck there. And Dave's going to shuffle up here at the end of turn to draw some new cards. So thanks to that Project ZYX suite, and I have a couple decks with it, with that extra, if you get that extra archiving, you just get through your deck a lot faster than your opponent. And I'm sure the Jargoggles help too with the Hexbion and whatnot. Dock booked and draw. Yeah, Logos just doing good Logos things. Archiving like a lot if you get the right suite in Age of Ascension. I love it. So there's the first key forged by Andrew. He's not out of this by any means. But the problem is Dave is now shuffled through his deck, so he's going to start seeing those Ronnie wrist clocks again. We haven't seen Fagin. We haven't seen a second Urchin yet, I don't believe. So he's going to see that other Urchin soon, I'm sure. And we can see some Shadow Steel hitting hard. And we got Anguish fighting into the Researcher, getting 2 on him, raising the key cost by 2. Lash comes in, raising the key cost again. We got Tolis actually played on the right flank. When a creature is destroyed, his opponent gets 1 amber. And we got Tesmal there reaping, shutting off Logos as a choice of a house there for Dave. But I have a feeling he's going for Shadows. Or at least he wants to go Shadows, but Andrew's only sitting at 1 amber. So that might not be the best call. He does say Shadows, takes his archives. And drops an Urchin. I called it. There it is. Stealing an amber. There's Fagin. That's about time. You figure he drops through his deck, he's eventually going to see him. Looks like they forgot a Tolis Amber there. So Andrew's saying there's another one to steal. Looks like a treasure map there, just for the Amber. A Miasma in Dave's deck. I did not catch that on the list. Not that it matters right now. It's just played for the Amber, but Dave definitely has an interesting deck, that's for sure. So we got some threats out on the board now for Andrew to deal with in Fagin. And those Jargoggles.
I'm going Shadows.
So Shadows for Andrew. He plays it too much to protect. There you go, big hit. Stealing 4 amber, leaving Dave at 6, but still in check. Actually not in check thanks to Anguish's +2 on the key cost for Dave there. Bren the Fanatic giving an amber. Should have played that in a different order. Ooh, that's too bad. Yeah, you hear Andrew's frustration. Should have played Bren the Fanatic first, followed by too much protect. Great play, but did it backwards. Miasma saying he can't forge. Does Andrew have a way to get that Bren the Fanatic off the board? I guess Spirit's Way will do it if he gets back into it, but we know he's already played it. He's got a couple Nerve Blasts. Throwing Stars and Nerve Blasts could help, but I think he's seen both of those, but I could be wrong. Having a Bloodshard Imp out in Reaping, that's another good combo in Andrew's deck that helps him get Bren the Fanatic off the board. And that might be it. So Andrew now sitting at 7 amber. It's tied here in the amber department. Tied here in the key department. And Miasma was played, so Dave will not be forging a key on his turn here. But can Andrew state enough amber to forge when it comes back to him next turn? And Andrew's deck getting real low there. I'm sure he wants to draw through, get back to those too much to protect. And or the Miasma sitting there in his discard pile. I'm sure when Andrew saw his 3 decks there on day 1 and had to choose which deck to play, when he saw the one that has Miasma and 2 copies of Too Much to Protect, I'm sure he didn't even look at his other decks and just picked that one. Andrew, if you're watching this, let me know. Let me know how that choice went for you. I'm sure it was obvious. All right, Nerve Blast here, stealing 1. Dealing 2 to Bren the Fanatic. So he's looking to try to get a steal play going here. Maybe on a future turn. Oh, there's the Throwing Stars and Nerve Blast together. I was just talking about that. So he does a Nerve Blast to kill Urchin, Tolis, and Bren the Fanatic. And since Tolis is gone in that effect, there won't be any amber gain off Tolis. But Bren the Fanatic does steal 3. And Redlock will reap for another amber. So Andrew's shooting up an amber here. 15 amber. Because he gets 3 off of Throwing Stars also there. killing 3 different creatures. So Jargoogle fighting into Anguish, killing Jargoogle, and then playing a Pound that was underneath him to finish off Anguish to reduce the key cost. Doc Bookton will reap for an Amber, drawing a card. And there's Andrew through his deck now, shuffling it up, looking to draw back into some more steel effects. And Jargoogle doing a reap. And here comes another wild wormhole into Ronnie Wristclock, stealing 2. Since Andrew is definitely above 7, he had 15 there. So should be down to 13, I believe. And we see a Titan Librarian on the left flank, followed by a Hex Beyond, and followed by Project ZYX. He's back. Wow, look at that board. So we should be able to get a Titan Librarian trigger here at the end of turn. So he's going to draw, and then at end of turn, he's going to archive a card off Titan Librarian. Yeah, Wild Wormholes having, what's he got? 2 Wild Wormholes in the deck and 2 Ronnie Wristclocks. I'm sure that hits, you know, pretty decent. Or like Wild Wormholes into Jargoggles. I'm sure it's fun. So Andrew ahead on keys, has 2 keys. And it looks like 7 Amber, I believe, left. Dave in check here with 9 Amber. We do see Andrew drew back into Miasma, I think, is in there. So we have Blinding Light. He's choosing Logos, of course. Gets an Amber for that. Stuns all the House Logos creatures on the board. Healing Blast, just playing it for the Amber. Nobody to heal for, I think 4 you need to heal off that. Shield of Justice. Again, just for the Amber.
Golden Aura.
And Golden Aura on Redlock. So he can use him as House Sanctum. And he'll just reap.
Gain 1 because I played no creatures this turn.
And he gains an Amber off Redlock's ability. He didn't play any creatures. 12 Amber, call and check. Over to Dave, who's just forging for only 6. 3 remaining.
That 1 turn.
And we got Umbra coming in for a steal. Fagin, reaping, returning an Urchin to hand. Playing Urchin again, doing another steal.
That's 2 stones.
And we got Ronnie Wristclocks going for a reap up to 7 Amber.
I could be wrong.
And we got a Whistling Dart, stealing 1 to Redlock. And a Throwing Stars, killing Urchin, gaining an Amber.
Good game.
And that's it. Andrew takes it.
I threw the miasma.
Oh, he had the Miasma Bren Fanatic also. Wow. So we had some stall there also. Congrats to Andrew, moving on to the top 4. So stay tuned. I have another game from the top 8 and 1 game from the top 4 coming up on the channel. And then you can check Fantasy Flight's YouTube, I guess, to see the finals. They were streaming it, so I wasn't able to film it. But I will have lots of videos from the Archon tournament that was held at Gen Con coming up on the channel. So please subscribe, hit that alarm button so you don't miss any. And thanks for watching.